Welcome to Central Florida Salute. I'm your host, Bob Peters, and I'm here at the Eagles area in Oklahoma, 4273, and I have the honor of having a World War II nurse who on December 7th of this year celebrated a very special birthday. Congratulations on your birthday, 100 years old.
Yes.
And it's amazing, it's on December 7th.
Right.
A day that will live in infamy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that day?
Yes, I do.
Where were you?
I was on duty in the nurse's station.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did that kind of make you want to go in, or?
Yes.
Yeah, I would think so.
But I had to wait till I passed state board before I could go in. We have to have a state board exam, and I had to pass that before. And as soon as I did, then I tried to enlist. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was reading, like I said, I did a lot of history research and what they were looking for. And from what I understand, all the nurses that went in during that time had to pass the state board.
Mm-hmm.
And
I had to wait for the results.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I have a little bio here that I'd kind of like to read. Norma Jean Bailey was born in Madison County, Ohio. You're a Buckeye.
Pardon?
Originally.
Pardon?
You're a Buckeye originally.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. December 7th, 1920. Mm-hmm. At age 21, she enlisted in the United States Army Nursing Corps. And March 8th, 1945, that's when you enlisted. At the time, her husband was servicing in the United States Army Sergeant at the Aleutian Islands.
Mm-hmm.
She immediately shipped out as a second lieutenant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what she went in as.
Yeah. And was assigned to a hospital ship, the USS Comfort, headed for the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Most of your duty was aboard ship. Casualties increased at Iwo Jima, and you were sent back to a station hospital in a monastery in Manila. She was part of a small group of 10 nurses allowed active duty combat under General MacArthur in 1945. And at the time, the Japanese Army placed a bounty on your head, from what I understand. From the service in combat, she received the Asian Pacific Theater Ribbon, the Americans. This is what happens when you don't have your glasses. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'm very impressed about what you went through those years. We go on to talk about your grandchildren, great-grandchildren on this. You have a bunch of them. But tell me about basic training. You went in, you said 45 or 44?
45, 46.
45?
45, I think it was.
What was your basic training like? From what I understand, what I read, it was not easy.
Fort Knox, Kentucky.
And you had a lot of physical training, too. You had to get in shape and all that?
Yeah, we did.
And from what I saw, a lot of the nurses had to build help build the compounds where you stayed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you went in because of what happened at Pearl Harbor. You said, right?
Right.
So where did you go? You went to Fort Knox.
Went to Fort Knox.
How long were you there?
Yeah, that's been so long ago. I can't remember that much. I can't remember that much about it, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All I know is I was there.
Tell me about when you went to the Philippines. I mean, I understand there was a lot of malaria and all this other stuff.
Yeah, we had to stay on board ship outside. We weren't allowed. We were allowed to go on land for a picnic or something like that, but we had to stay on board ship. Mm-hmm.
How many nurses were there?
I think about 6. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
At that time, I'm not sure.
Okay. You saw a lot of casualties, from what I understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was only I was only in the hospital one day, I think, and I was married at the time, and so they sent me home, sent me to Tokyo and then home.
Because you got married?
I was married then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, if you were a nurse, was it okay to be married or no?
Yes, was.
Because they really were getting desperate for nurses.
Yes.
You know,
at what time?
because the casualties were so high.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had to ask permission to get married.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And I was 23, 24. Had to go to my head nurse to get and ask her if I could get married because my husband was going overseas.
I have a picture of your husband here.
Yes.
And a very handsome man. He was in the Army also.
Yes,
right?
he was.
He was a sergeant.
He was in the Lucians.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So where did you meet him?
In the hospital as a patient.
Oh, really? He said, I'm going to save your life, but you're going to marry me, right? Yeah. Well, I know you had a lot of happy years together.
Oh, we did. I think 50-some.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got quite a group of
Yes,
kids.
it was. 54, almost 54. Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a picture of you. Well, do you remember when this was taken?
I can't see it. No, I can't remember when that was
I think it
taken.
probably was, well, you got your lieutenant bars on, so obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and I have another picture of you. See, I told you I did my homework. This picture here, do you recognize this picture?
Oh, yes, that was at Fort Knox, I think.
Yeah. I'll tell you, you had to beat the guys away, I'll tell you. Really. One of the things you've done, well, I'll talk about this later, but so you're in the Philippines taking care of patients, and they put a bounty on your head.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they didn't get you.
Yeah, no.
We're happy about that.
That's right.
And how long were you in the Philippines? Do you remember?
Oh, we were aboard ship outside. Seemed like months. I don't remember exactly, but I know we were there a long time. I know all we did was play cards.
When you weren't working. Yeah. So you left the Philippines. You were on the USS Comfort. The whole ship left, and you left with it?
Yes, as far as I can remember.
Yeah. Where did you go after your tour with the
But
Philippines?
we didn't. Then we went to Tokyo, I think. They sent me home. Sent me because I was married.
Uh-huh. Why would that matter?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Well, I understand you did have to, at one time, after the war was winding down, you were actually taking care of the Japanese soldiers too, right?
Yes.
Which is, shows your big heart that you have, you know. I also have some pictures here. You know that man, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, this is Father Gary Kadow, and that's you.
Mm-hmm.
And you went on an honor flight.
That's right.
Tell me about your honor flight experience.
Well, we went to Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And that's...
Did you get to see the Nurses Monument?
Yeah, pardon me?
Did you go to the Nurses Memorial?
Yes. Yes, I saw that. Mm-hmm. And it seemed to me like there were a lot of, from different states, pictures of different people. Then the people on the wall, and about 4,000 names on the wall, I remember that.
Yeah. You know, when I was doing my research about Army nurses, and it came into 1901 is when they had the nurses, in 1901. Is when they officially became part of it. And in 1944, they passed a bill granting the nurses military rank. Before that, you guys didn't have a rank. You were just nurses.
Right.
Which, I'll tell you what, I have a great deal of respect for nurses,
But
especially nowadays, too, with what's going on. You guys are ladies, and now we have men nurses.
Yes.
They've done so much. You know, your longevity, now that you're 100 years old,
Yes.
that's amazing. What was the secret? What is the secret to living to be 100?
I don't know, except just live one day at a time.
I know, and you said you don't get stressed out.
No.
But I did hear a rumor
What was that?
About a beer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
4 o'clock.
4
My
o'clock.
husband and I used to do that.
Every day at 4 o'clock, you'd have one beer.
If we were working, we'd stop and have a beer. Maybe go back to work and not. Otherwise, we just have our dinner.
So having that beer was the secret to longevity.
I don't know.
Well, I hope it's true, because the amount of beer I drink, I'll be a million years old.
Well, I can only take one a day.
Yeah. You ever get back together with, I imagine most of the nurses that you served with are with the
No,
Lord now, but you're part of an association or anything? Or,
no.
But you live in the villages.
I live in the villages and my daughter.
Well, we are honored to have you here. Like I said, there's a young lady over there that you met who was a combat nurse, and you blazed the trail for these nurses. We owe you so much.
Thank you.
I don't know how
Yes.
to put it into words, but it's amazing, and I want to thank you for your service.
As I say, I don't know why I've lived this long, but that's not for me to say, I guess.
Yeah, it's part of a plan. He had a plan for you. He said, you're going to live to be 100, and you're going to come on Central Florida Salute. Make my day. But, yeah. You have your hat there, too, I see. Is that
Yes.
your original hat?
Yes.
Norma Jean, I'm going to have a couple of questions. There's a nurse out there that wants to talk to you. Her name is Kathryn, and Kathryn is a combat nurse, and she has a question for you. So, Kathryn.
What's so funny is that I actually served on the Comfort as well.
Well, she served on the same ship you did.
Is that right?
TAH 20. I don't know what number you were on, but I served on the Comfort.
It was D something, but I can't remember.
Anyway, so I just thought I'd share with you that we played cards on there too.
Yeah. You didn't cheat, though, did you?
No, but I didn't win either.
Yeah.
But, I guess, when I look back at my service, the whole thing was serving others. And I think that's basically what we all do as nurses. And I just, again, want to thank you for all that you've done and your service to not only, troops, but to, obviously, the enemies. I've done that, too, in Afghanistan. And, I know it plays on us, and I just want to say thank you for being the torch that lit the way for us other nurses.
Thank you.
Well, we want to put on your hat. I think there's a guy coming over here. You might know this guy. My good friend, Father Gary Kadow.
I don't know if I can hear or not.
And that was, I think, my 30th mission going to D.C. with Honor Flight. And that was truly the best time I ever had in my life, because Norma Jean is as sharp as a tack. She's a little shy this morning, but she has one great sense of humor, and we had a lot of fun. We saw everything. And when she went there, she was a rock star. Everybody wanted to meet her. Everybody wanted to say hello and give her a hug. She also ran into other World War II vets, and it was like they were friends all their lives. They had a lot in common. So it was a spectacular day. And Norma Jean, thank you for that, for letting me escort you there.
I can't hear you, Gary.
I was saying thank you for letting me escort you to Washington, D.C.
Oh, yes.
It was a wonderful time.
Oh, yes. That was nice.
And you said to me, you wondered why the Lord has you here so long? I think the answer is easy. You're an inspiration.
Oh.
All of us.
Oh, thank you.
God bless you.
You know what? You can't say it any better than that. What you did and your other ladies did during World War II is truly amazing. And we owe a great deal of gratitude to you. And I want to thank you for coming on here. If you had one particular incident or that you remember about World War II, do you ever think about it, going back and thinking about the days and some of the people you met?
No.
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 Just take one day at a time.
Oh, one day at a
One
time.
day at a time. And of course.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
Okay, I think we have another question.
You don't worry about tomorrow. Just worry about today.
We got another question for you. This is David and Sandra Bock. Their son was killed in Afghanistan.
Mhm.
They are Gold Star parents.
Oh.
And they'd like to make a comment or a question. And
We would just like to say that
I can't hear her.
the work that you do is so meaningful to the families who lose someone. And I know that you remember each and every one of your people that you helped in the war. We're so grateful for the work that you and the nurses do. The medics that were with our son are still in touch with us today. And I know that the families of the fallen have such grateful hearts for everything that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
that's special. My friend Kathryn, well, as I told you, she was a combat nurse, and she has something for you.
Oh?
Yeah, it's her birthday present.
Oh, my
Kathryn,
goodness.
come on over.
Well, it's really weird is my mother's birthday and my nephew's birthday is on December 7th as well. So you all celebrated on the same day this year.
Oh,
But I wanted to give you, this is a notepad and
Oh.
it talks about nurses, the heart of healing.
well, thank you so much.
And then you have a little,
Oh, and thank you. Thank you.
something. What kind of nurse were you?
Just a general.
General nurse?
Mhm.
Don't say just.
Just.
No, don't say just. You were a nurse. So you were
Mm-hmm.
the med-surg type
Uh-huh.
nurse.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, thank you. I'm an operating room nurse.
Oh, operating room.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
So on the
mine
comfort-
was more medical.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. But still, thank you. It was nice to meet you.
I prefer surgery to medical, but.
Love surgery.
Uh-huh.
That's what I did on the comfort.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Surgery was all better.
Yes.
Medical was something that was worse, as far as I was concerned.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for all that you've done.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kathryn.
Mm.
Well, it's time to say goodbye
Okay.
for this episode of Central Florida Salute. It's been my honor to have you here.
Thank you.
And on your second 100th birthday, you come back, okay?
Oh,
I don't know if I'll be here, but hopefully you'll be here. So-
well, I hope I won't be.
Okay, so all our veterans out there are active military and their families. We salute you for all you do.
Thank you.
Till next time.